Surprise, bitch. Today is the beginning of a new era. So, whatever you were doing in one part of your life, in the Taurus part of your life, that will begin to stabilize. And now you're going to do something very different in the Gemini part of your life for the next 7 years. So, I'm going to just read you a little part of that thing I wrote about spring 2025, which is really about the greater entire future that we share together. Whatever game you want to play, it will also be Monopoly. Monopoly monies become as legal tender as any money, not replacing but alongside. Your certifications are money. Your decorations are money. The fact that you're a great dancer is money. Your paper dolls of yourself wearing your wardrobe is money. Your health hit points are money. Your soft skills are money. Your marriage is money. Your psychedelic virginity is money. Your identity is literally a wallet. Something big happening during this time for those of you who end up living in the technology paradigm, because you could end up in van life in the wilderness, being completely off the grid. So I think there will be some of that too, maybe. But if you live in the technology paradigm, then there's this conflation where your identity is a wallet. And I guess that's not that different, kind of, from the way that your identity is constellated in the real world. It's like, here are all these things about you, and that's what makes you you. But there's in essence, when you're meeting people and interacting with them in the real world versus how it is digitally, which it needs to be digital so that everything can be recorded and tracked, because that's how we train the global superintelligence to achieve gnosis. Anyway, so your wallet is what's in your wallet. It's skill badges. It's things about you. It's NFTs or pieces of art that it's like your pieces of flair. You do want to express yourself, don't you? What is in your wallet is now your identity. Identity, ID, and wallet are the same thing. And I guess that's what I have to say about Uranus and Gemini right now. But Monday and Tuesday, Monday already happened. I hope it was fine. I hope it was weird. I hope you got maybe you got ants in your pants in some completely new area of life where you almost kind of want to break something. That's Uranus going into a sign. So Monday and Tuesday are kind of the same day. Tuesday, technically, no aspects go exact. And late Monday, which is when this is coming out, all the way through Tuesday, the moon is technically void. So the moon is not going to aspect anything else until it moves into Capricorn for the full moon in Capricorn. You get a little mini vacation to sit around and wonder what's brewing with Uranus, what's coming down the tracks with Uranus and Gemini. And it's interesting as a strange no man's land limbo time where something has shifted and we don't really know what that means yet and can't until we look back 7 years from now. But if you look back at 2018, 2017, what was happening around then, and what is the Taurus part of your life, what house is that in your chart, if you know how to look that up. And if you don't, I have a reel that it's probably easier to find on Instagram than it is on YouTube. It's one of the ones that says astrology hack in the thumbnail. And it's a blue background with light coming in the windows. And it's how to find out what planet is activated for you this year. But the first part of it just shows you how to look up your chart in a straightforward way so you can know this stuff. So anyway, what's the Taurus part of your life, and what can you see has become radically different? You do things radically differently in that part of your life now, as opposed to 2017, 2018. And so that is now happening with the sign of Gemini. Monday and Tuesday are kind of the same day, and they're kind of a weird no man's land where the moon is opposing the stuff in Gemini, which is Venus and Uranus right now, but has already aspected them. The moon will not aspect Uranus in Gemini until Friday. So Friday, you're going to see something, and the light is building. So Monday, Tuesday, they're the same day. Weird no man's land, foreshadowing, wondering about the future. You're not going to really get anything yet. It's just like, we know something is different. So Wednesday, the moon moves into Capricorn in the middle of the night. So you'll wake up on Wednesday and the moon will be in Capricorn. The moon squares Saturn and Neptune early in the morning. So if it is an early morning for you, it might be kind of difficult. It might feel like more heavy and more, more like heavier and also like without direction, unmoored if you're awake early Wednesday morning. And then the first part of the day, Wednesday, seems very nice. The moon in Capricorn is opposing Jupiter in Cancer. That's a signature that's like, it's not quite the coffee is for closers. Like the coffee is for every employee. You get free coffee. It's really good, but like you're at work. So, it's not like sitting down to like a lovely afternoon tea with the cute little sandwiches with some good girlfriends having a really nice time. You're at work, so you're doing something you don't want to be doing, but there is free coffee, and maybe you get to order lunch from like a real restaurant. You get to, instead of like they order pizza, maybe you get to order your own meal from a restaurant or something, and work pays for it, but you're still work at like a retail job. And it doesn't have to be. You could be at like a career. Anyway, benefits that benefit the system, the corporation, and there's nothing wrong with that. That needs to happen. We need nice things at work. So that's Wednesday. And the second part of Wednesday, the moon is just applying to a trine with Mars. So the moon in Capricorn applying to a trine with Mars in Virgo. So that treats the way that you've supported your biology. Now you have the energy to be really detailed and put your nose to the grindstone and get the things done that need to get done with discipline. It's like no big deal. We're not feeling amazing, but maybe we've like suppressed our ability to feel at all. And that's a good thing sometimes. The term I wanted to use was suspend your disbelief, and that's not the term at all. But it's like suspend your need to feel amazing, which is something that I'm all about. Like, amazing things come to you when you feel amazing, which I need to say to myself now. I'm going through, progress is nonlinear. I'm going through a brief period of like not feeling amazing and not really feeling motivated to do the things that will over time make me feel amazing. And I'm telling myself that it's because I can help other people later being in this state, but I'm persisting in like not doing anything about it. And that makes me human, but progress is nonlinear. You're going to go through times of not feeling good. And it's a weird time for me because I feel like I don't feel good. I don't like the way I look right now. I don't um I don't I don't want to make good health choices right now, which is strange for me. And like what that means for me might be really different from other people. But I'm just like I'm having like a I don't know what to call it. Anyway, the moon in Capricorn, the full moon in Capricorn is coming. The moon is not a Capricorn as I'm saying this, but maybe I am also hoping that the full moon in Capricorn can help me bring myself, instead of like, now I'm just talking about the full moon in Capricorn, so let's just, because we're kind of done with Wednesday. So what I'm hoping for, my Christmas wish for the full moon in Capricorn, when the moon is full, where the sun is during the holidays. If you're not familiar with astrology, so when the sun is in Capricorn, it's winter, but the full moon in Capricorn is always going to be in the middle of the summer. And so we're getting this, like, the full moons evoke the opposite time of year and kind of bring the light everywhere. Bring the light across the zodiac, across time. What does that mean? Now I'm going on a tangent. What does it mean when the activator of the zodiac, the container that fills with light, it's all the way on the other side to be completely filled with light? It crosses the diameter of the memory palace that is our solar system. To where we are transported somehow across time to like either 6 months before or 6 months after. So full moons and dark moons, that I don't fully know what that means either. So don't worry if you feel lost. I'm feeling extra, like we've definitely had a Uranus ingress, and I'm feeling extra. That's I'm a Libra, so in my solar chart is really loud. So your time chart, that's like your rising sign, but I have a lot of planets in Libra, and so it's like a big weight that if you look at things in my life, like my time chart is true, like that's definitely real, but if you look at things through the lens of your solar chart, especially if you have a lot of planets, like with your sun, and you're born during the day, I have found that it's super literal. And right now, I'm noticing, because I'm feeling very, like there has really been a Uranus ingress. Like there's something, I'm feeling more, I don't give a fuck in a way. And that doesn't like totally, I don't know what that means in my time chart, but in my solar chart, that would be, I'm a Libra. So Gemini would be my ninth house. So here I am publishing, I'm on social media, and in one way you could say social media is third housing as well, but I'm feeling like I give far fewer fucks right now than I normally would. Like I don't even care if you understand. I mean, of course I do. So many of you, I adore you for watching. And maybe it's that I know you can pick up on whatever because you're still here, and I'm not like, I'm already not like, I'm already a little unconventional, so forgive me for being all over the place. So the dark moon in Capricorn is in 2026. Okay, what was I saying? So we look at lunations in 6-month cycles. So the full moon in Capricorn on July 10th, that we will see, we have seen since December 30th, the dark moon in Capricorn, December 30th, 2024, a culminating energy. Like the light has filled up, and now you can see how that, the Capricorn part of your life, is at a peak of some kind, a pinnacle, some sort of like punctuation, like the sentence has been completed, and now you'll live, and now until, this is very tongue in cheek, but until January 18th, 2026, you will expend that energy. You will live happily ever after, or whatever the way to describe how you're going to live based on this current culmination. So this full moon in Capricorn, we're dealing with what needs to be done so we can survive or even thrive, taking care of our needs and taking care of business. Jupiter's involved, there are resources involved, and this full moon is also loosely, not that loosely, trining Mars with the South Node. So there's like an available energy, but it's like detached, like just whatever. It's almost like a going through the motions type of energy. And it's all very, very loosely squaring. Like you can kind of see it's kind of in the way, but it's not directly interfering yet. The Saturn-Neptune stuff going on in Aries, where like there is a suggestion of the new future that we share getting in the way of these, like the needs of the business, the needs of the body, like the emotional needs and the bonds that fortify and maintain getting everybody's needs met, and the detachment that you need to just get the work done and check the things off the list and follow the rules. That axis, you can begin to see a subtle you might be able to see a suggestion of how that will eventually be more and more interfered with as we go through the 3 years of Saturn transiting Aries and the 13 years of Saturn, or of Neptune transiting Aries. And the full moon happens in the middle of the day on Thursday, so Wednesday night is the full moon. You'll feel that like the moon is coming off the opposition with Jupiter Wednesday night and headed towards the trine with Mars and the South Node. So this like detached energy, it's almost, I don't want to say short circuit, but like there's like a live wire and it's not really like plugged into the thing that makes like the lights light up. It's just like current is running, but where? That could be one manifestation of it. So Wednesday night, you'll feel the full moon. It'll go exact in the middle of the afternoon on Thursday, depending on where you are I'm speaking from North America. Friday, some things we sort of get out of no man's land, and unless you're me, because all this Friday stuff just hits my chart in like the place in my chart that is sort of no man's land. On Friday, you'll wake up and the moon, well, if you're on the west coast of North America, you'll wake up and the moon might not be in Aquarius yet. The moon moves into Aquarius just a little bit before 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, this will be more in the afternoon. And this is when, so the moon moves into Aquarius, and immediately, because Uranus just ingressed, immediately trines Uranus. So we have the moon in Aquarius trining Uranus in Gemini. And this is the first aspect that the moon makes. So Friday is when you'll maybe see the Uranus and Gemini thing the first Uranus and Gemini thing in your life or in the world. And so naturally on Friday, right after that, since Saturn and Neptune are in very, very early Aries, the moon sextiles Saturn and Neptune, and then the moon conjoins Pluto. So the moon is making contact with all the outer planets, and it's all soft aspects. So Friday has like an electric buzz of the future. Your identity is a wallet. And Friday night seems fun. If you're on the west coast of North America, then the moon completes its conjunction with Pluto a little bit before 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then after that, the whole rest of the day is the moon in Aquarius applying to a trine with Venus in Gemini. So that is fun, futuristic, a little bit absurd, definitely out there, and multivalent. And so Friday has like a sparkly, fun, weird quality to it, Friday night. And that aspect, the trine with Venus from the moon, completes a little bit after 2 a.m. Pacific time. And I say all this is fun. However, Saturn is stationing retrograde. So I'll talk about that in a minute. Well, I'll talk about it right now. So the moon is in, Saturn is stationing, and that is an intensification of the themes of that planet when it applies to outer planets, especially because outer planet retrogrades aren't like the rebellious, like opposite day, like when Venus and Mercury are retrograde. It's more just like a tide, which is funny that I said that last week because we definitely had a tide with Neptune stationing retrograde that happened. The floods in Texas happened on that exact day. And so with Saturn, Saturn is very intense this week. And I think you'll especially feel it on Friday. The moon is aspecting Saturn, which is stationing. Like that's the time this week that the moon aspects Saturn. It squares Saturn on Wednesday too. So anything going on with Saturn, anytime the moon touches Saturn and then the moon is in Aquarius, well, this is a Saturn ruled, okay, I'm just like, no, I'm just backtracking. This is a Saturn ruled full moon with Saturn stationing. And lately, over the past couple of years, like this is just the time of year that Saturn stations retrograde. It's kind of like in the summer. And the summer is when we get our Saturn ruled lunations always in July and August. So extra punctuation, extra exclamation mark, or whatever, Saturn's punctuation, I feel, is just a period. Saturn stations retrograde around 9 p.m. Pacific on Saturday night. So we're going to feel a lot more, like take whatever the moon is in Capricorn, the moon is in Aquarius, whatever heaviness that usually lends, and make it heavier or make it feel more significant. It doesn't always have to be bad. It could just be like more significant, especially if Saturn is the activated planet for you this year. So all Saturday is after, in the middle of the night, the moon makes that trine to Venus. And then the moon opposes Mercury. So that's the moon in Aquarius opposing Mercury in Leo. So there might be like something around expressing yourself and then getting some, or like being received somehow, positively or negatively, by people, the collective, or like by a representative of the collective. some sort of like tension between a message that you are sending on behalf of yourself and a message from an agent of the group. And that's Saturday. Just Saturn retrograde, Saturn ruled moon opposing Mercury in the sign of the sun. An interesting, it's an interesting, like, different type of full moon, because we're not doing the full moon in Aquarius yet. We don't do that till August each year. But we've had a full moon, and now we're getting another weird, like, sun moon Saturnian, like, contrast. And Sunday, the moon moves into Pisces. We no longer have Saturn in Pisces, so that's interesting. But we do have Uranus. So now the moon is squaring Uranus anytime the moon is in Pisces. What does that do to your peace in that part of your life? This is the second time the moon aspects Uranus since it has moved into Gemini. And then after the moon, so that's all day. All day there's something kind of grating about, the changes coming. Sorry, I'm having like a 2-week long bad hair day. It doesn't matter what I do. It just looks like I slept on it no matter what. And it's distracting. Okay, so Sunday, all day long, the moon is squaring Uranus. So something about like whatever the new future holds, you might be getting a spidey sense of like something kind of annoying. Like Uranus is in Gemini right now. This is Monday when I'm recording this. Just already getting rebellious with the social media for me is like I'm going back to my old pattern of just like I'm talking about the week and I'm doing it on Monday instead of before the week begins to actually make this useful for you. So I'm sorry this is less useful this week. All day Sunday. Kind of annoying. Moon squaring Uranus. However, after that, like Sunday evening, the moon is trining Jupiter. So that's the moon ruled by Jupiter, trining Jupiter. So hold out. Sunday during the day might be kind of annoying. Hold out for the evening where it's much more like juicier and uplifting. And remember, your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls. And even though it is, you can still take really good care of each other.